Anyway, here with reaction, Fox News senior White House correspondent, our friend Peter Doocy is here. All right, they seem pretty pissed off and offended to me. I mean, Kamala's praising Joe. Joe says she won't distance herself. KJP is saying that there's no daylight at all between their views. Susan Rice finds it offensive, and she was an integral architect of this. Well, she seems to be distancing herself from my perspective, and obviously, based on your questions, I would argue you think so too.
Well, it seems like, just based on what we are told and what we hear, that President Biden, when he agreed begrudgingly to leave the race and endorse Kamala Harris. Remember, this time last month, there were some Democrats who wanted some kind of a mini primary where maybe some other ideas could organically get elected by delegates, and a different person or a different platform could rise up to the top and challenge Trump. But it seems like when Biden said, I'll get out of the way and endorse Harris, but the condition is I am only going to support everything that I've been doing for the last couple of years, and that's got to be the centerpiece of her platform too. That's what we're hearing from all the hardcore Biden people, like the president himself, obviously, but also the press secretary and Susan Rice. But there's this great item in Axios yesterday that says the people in Wilmington don't want her tied to this platform, especially economically, that was so unhelpful to President Biden that he had to drop out. They know that inflation is a killer. Even in her first week of remarks on the campaign trail, we were there in Philly last Thursday, she's talking about how prices are still too high. But it's got to be this balancing act of, I'm going to do something different, but also in the job that I have right now, I don't want to offend my boss, who I still probably do need to help me. And in that clip that you played from Prince George's County today, just to kind of put a bow on all of that, when she was saluting President Biden, saying there's a lot of love in this room, he was standing off to the side. And I think the best way that I would describe the way that he looked is wistful. It didn't seem like a joyous passing of the torch. It seemed like he was just standing there, and he knows for the first time on stage that this today is the beginning of the end of him as president and of his ideas. And he can say that she is not going to distance herself from his economic policies all that he wants, but she's unveiling an economic plan tomorrow, and it's all stuff that's different.
She was recently praising Bidenomics. She went along for 3 years with the lie that inflation's transitory. She went along for 3+ years with the lie that the border's secure. Now, she is backing away from her, I'll use the filibuster, eliminate the filibuster to pass the $93 trillion Green New Deal. ICE was compared to the KKK, and she wanted to rethink ICE. Now she wants to fund them. Against fracking, against drilling, wanted to defund, dismantle, no bail laws. Of course, she was the vote that was the tipping point as it relates to taxing tips in the Inflation Reduction Act, the opposite of what she's saying now. She wanted Medicare for all, universal health care, eliminating private health care, and, of course, on the borders, decriminalize, open borders. And you heard the cut we played earlier. This was the wall was a vanity project of Donald Trump's because he thinks that terrorists might invade the country. Well, Peter, terrorists are in the country. That's what Congress is telling us.
And the last time that she was a candidate advocating for herself, she just needed to win progressive Democrats. I spent weeks of my life chasing her around the halls of Capitol Hill in 2019 and the beginning of 2020, at a time when she was rated just objectively by, I believe it's PolitiFact, the most liberal senator. It would, we would hear Bernie Sanders or Warren, who were also running, put something out, and then she would come up with something that was, at the time, more progressive. Now, she's not just competing for, she still needs those progressive Democrats, but she also needs a bunch of people in the middle who have become, in the last couple months, frustrated with Biden, Trump curious again. She needs all of these people, and she has not, at this point, articulated what changed. Right now, they are doing what I think they watched, like 6 weeks ago, Donald Trump, when he just kind of stayed back and, he kept as quiet as possible for as long as possible before their convention. It seems like that is what they're trying to do with her, but it is not something that they're going to be able to do forever.
All right, Peter Doocy, great job. We appreciate you being with us. When we come back.